Welcome, guys. Today we are interviewing a former incoming, Nayara. She was a master at our Hochschule Mannheim, and today we are going to do like a reflection on her exchange semester. But before we dive into those questions, let's give Nayara the opportunity to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nayara Gamboa, and I had the opportunity to join Hochschule Mannheim in 2018 as part of my master's degree. And during my exchange, I participated in the engineering and management program. I took some courses that were related to innovation and technology management, as well as international management, and both like broadened my perspective and shaped my professional approach. During this time, I also work on my research that was aimed to explore the key factors influencing stakeholder engagement on technology and innovation foresight planning processes.
Sounds really good. So let's move on and start with the interview itself. So we start by asking about your preparation for your exchange semester. So I guess the first question would arise on to why did you decide to do an exchange semester in Germany?
Why Germany? So when I was studying my master's, I told my thesis professor that I really wanted to have an international experience. As part of what I know from Germany is that you're the top leaders in innovation. And at the same time, I really wanted to kind of understand how people see the cultural aspects and trying to live on a different kind of level of culture, trying to merge and also at the same time enrich my state of the art where I was working for my thesis. And I think it was a really good decision.
Great. And talking about decisions, why did you chose the Hochschule Mannheim?
Why Mannheim? So when looking at the program itself, I understood that you have really close collaboration with industries. You focused on bringing innovation, technology, all the engineering side, but at the same time, the business and management. And these brings a lot of real experiences to students. So that was one of the things that really caught my eye. And at the same time, the professor I was talking to when choosing the courses was focused on strategic innovation management. So that was basically a yes for me.
Great. Sounds very good. Regarding that, do you think your decisions turned out to be the right ones?
Definitely it was the best choice. I mean, at that age, I think
Hmm.
that starting my professional experience, it brings and broadens my doors. I see the world in a different way. Multiple opportunities has come through that, and at the same time, being able to take all these state of the art, take all these lectures, help me not only for my professional experience, but also on the personal level to enrich it, and at the same time, the networking side of it.
Hmm.
I have been able to interact with the people I still met in Germany. So
Great, great. And I guess like also one question for the viewer, which is probably really, really important regarding your preparations. Tell us how did you prepare for Germany and your exchange semester on a basic level?
so I would say the
Hmm.
visa documentation, that's something that was required at the same time to be insured. And throughout all these journey, I have the opportunity to work with my home university and at the same time having the support from Hochschule Mannheim. Um, One of the other things I would say I would have loved to learn more about the language. That's something that would have helped me way more. And I would say, yeah, that was the critical things to take a look at.
I see, I see. Okay. As we
Great.
know, Germany is a highly bureaucratic country. Let's move on to the second part regarding bureaucratic and organizational aspects. Here the question arises, if you have received sufficient support from your home university or other organizations during your stay.
It was a clear guidance, a clear
Mm.
framework to do my exchange program. I
Mm.
mean, the documentation, the visa, the insurance requirements. And at the same time, I think once arriving to Germany, I received sufficient support from both, like my home university and at Hochschule Mannheim, as I was enrolled into the buddy program. When
Mm.
I arrived there, I didn't even have a phone number. So
Mm.
my buddy told me I'll be waiting for you at the train station. And since there on, it helped me all the way through. So I think also having a person that lives there gives you more confidence. And also, it was a sort of smooth transition with the welcoming and the housing, which is something really important.
Great.
There's lots of student accommodations, and I was supporting on that as well to have more integration and quickly adapt to this new environment for me.
Nice. So you had like a helping hand throughout your start of your exchange
Yeah.
semester. And also, then regarding your time being here in Mannheim, back in the day, like what was your actually housing situation be like?
So the housing situation, I remember that I was provided with the accommodation preference form,
Mm.
and in there were multiple housings, and basically it says how many people you would like to live with, and if you'd like to live by yourself, and what was your budget, and these were the options.
Hmm.
So after that, I just received a message saying you're allocated to this. So I think it's more into a randomly selection based on the capacity they have. So definitely a suggestion I would say to any incoming student is be open-minded. I mean, you could leave with 5 people, international, nationals. At the same time, you can leave by yourself, and you leave also the experience because all the accommodations and places for students are around the city.
It depends on which dorm you're getting. Like it could be a flat, it could be like 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, in my case, I don't know if I was lucky, but I had a loft for
Yeah.
myself, my own kitchen. I know some other friends had to live with 5 other people.
Mm.
So that was very interesting. I loved like the fact of having them living with other people
Hmm.
because their same housemates were very open and tried to kind of say like, oh, you can come over and have these traditional meal of mine. So that was nice as well to experience.
How did you experience that? Did you have any difficulties also regarding your visa, your insurance, or registration?
I wouldn't say that I had issues with the process. Definitely something that it's visa related. You have to manage it in your own country.
Mm.
Once you have that, the process is very straightforward. One of the things, as I said, one of my barriers was language, since most of the processes, documentations are in German. That's something that probably was a challenge for me, but not impossible. I mean, you have also the relation with other international students that leave the same process with you, and they guide you throughout the process as well as, for example, choosing your bank account, where I'm going to open my bank. I would say as well, the insurance side of it for as a student, it's something managed with the home university, and it's a requirement for you by going at the Hochschule Mannheim. So you need to take
Mm.
it with you. And the integration, once arriving, definitely it's just very smooth, as in any university.
Yeah, I see. I see. I also think a good thing is with the language courses that they also increase the capacities for that. Like our Hochschule now has much more options and possibilities to actually attend in German courses.
Definitely. I mean, part of my master's, I remember the course was in German,
Yes.
and there was a flexibility with my professor there that was taking all the slides in English and was doing the summaries in English. So it was really good for me to try to merge into the culture and at the same time have the
Mm.
openness with the person I was working with. And I know for a fact that you have the language courses. I took them, and at the same time, I did them independently
Yeah.
with some people I've met throughout the way.
I also think right now that language is, of course, a really important factor regarding the culture and trying to implement into your life during your exchange semester here in Germany. So let's move on to our next part, like the cultural differences and expectations you had looking back. And here, of course, like the most relevant question arises, like, did you encounter any cultural differences between Germany and your home country, Mexico?
Yes, I did. I would say, first off, and just as a funny story, I arrived on a Saturday night, and Sundays in Mexico, it's a very familiar, typical day. In
Mhm.
Germany, it's a day that it's very quiet, and usually most of the stores are closed. So when I got there, I remember trying to get to my accommodation, trying to get something to eat, and most of the shops were closed.
Mm.
So that was something interesting to experience. Not impossible. You organize your days throughout the way. And that's something, it was a funny for me. And at the same time, I would say punctuality. In Mexico, we sometimes lose the sense of time. In Germany, it's highly valued being punctual. And I think in your day to day basis. So that helped me also for my personal life to become more punctual into
Yeah.
my day to day basis. So definitely, yeah.
A German has to be punctual, right? Like that's like the most typical German thing I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
But in general, like looking back on your experience, how did you like Germany in total?
I loved it. I mean, it's rich in history. It's a modern innovation and natural beauty. Like the cities are beautiful. There's so many places you can go, especially Mannheim. I think it's in the heart, in the center of Europe. You
Mm.
have the same time going east, going west, going, well, north. You will go to more places in Germany, and you can go south, and you have all these rich countries to go to. The sustainability, the cleanness, the transportation, it was something I didn't experience in the past, but I loved it. It was unique and it was very transformative as well.
I mean, like you then really saw Germany as a whole and how it should be during your exchange semester at
And
least.
also, a fact, I arrived during the semesters where the Oktoberfest was being developed. So that was lovely too, because I was able to experience a German Oktoberfest.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. I think I even myself didn't experience it, only in Stuttgart, but
Wow.
not the original one. Anyway, as we talked about like the language offerings earlier, right? Did you have any difficulties regarding or challenges regarding your social integration, or did you made friends along the way? Did you meet enough people, even though maybe your German language skills couldn't be that sufficient?
I would say something that caught my eye is that a lot there's a lot of educational preparation in Germany, and people know more than one language. And most of the time their second language is English. I wouldn't say it's general, but most people, a lot of people do. So I think that the language definitely for me, not having, not even knowing the numbers, it was not easy. But I met a lot of people along the way. And even like in the public sites I went to, public transportation, everything was straightforward, was easy, and I felt safe to do it. So I would say if you are going to have a course over there, they're quite flexible at Hochschule Mannheim with the courses, with you taking language courses as well, and your kind of professional.
With the option to also have like a buddy program at the Hochschule Mannheim when you're an incoming,
Yeah.
it's also a great possibility to actually improve your German skills and get to know people much quicker. and better.
For sure. To embed it into the culture.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think also it fits now attached to that we now jump to our actual last part of the interview, especially your travel time, like regarding your social integration. How was your travel during your stay in Germany?
One of the things is a very, a person who lives an international experience. And my second recommendation is travel as much as you can. Live the experience, merge into the culture. Even 30 minutes far away from Mannheim, it's a very beautiful city called Heidelberg. They have stunning landscapes. There's a castle with an old town very close by. So merging into the culture itself, it's a very nice thing to do. I traveled every time I could. I remember having this travel agency where we went to Czech Republic, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Belgium, and Mannheim is in the center of Europe. So being in the center of Europe allows you to go east, allows you to go west in the same timing. So if you can, take the experience and also make the connections with the people you're with. I remember having a really good friend from Spain. We even went to her place while being in the exchange program. So it's definitely a must to do.
Absolutely amazing. Also, with your recommendation um, towards your travel agency, I think many students can use that to actually travel throughout, not only throughout like Mannheim and Germany, but also throughout Europe, which they
Definitely.
should, of course. All right, then coming to last question, is there anything you would like to share with future exchange students?
Something I would share with students.
Yes,
Have an international experience if you can. I highly recommend this experience. It will broaden your opportunities. It will open your doors that you might not expect it. Since this exchange program was the first time for me leaving the country and living an experience like this, I was very fortunate. And since then, I have been living in different countries. And I think based on that experience, I was able to adapt quickly to new environments. I was able to learn from diverse cultures and truly enjoy the moment. So if you have the possibilities to do an experience like this, definitely it will not enrich your academic growth, but also your personal development and your relationships you build throughout the way. So it offers lessons, experiences, and it's a very nice journey to live.
that's incredible. I can totally sign that and support it fully. Absolutely amazing. That's a great ending to our interview. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for sharing your experience with us. We wish you all the best, of course, for your future
Thank
and
you.
hope you keep Germany in good memory.
I will.
Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
hopefully we see each other again.
For sure.
Thank you. Bye bye.